Welcome to Conversations with Karin, whereby I have weekly conversations with you regarding life and unlocking your full potential to possibly shift, change, and grow through our conversations. Today's guest is Lynne Johns, who is a lecturer and an academic and a scholar but she can explain it later on. Welcome, Lynne, to today's conversation.
Thanks, Karin. It's great to be here.
The theme for the next couple of weeks is going to be about mental health. But come to think of it, I was just saying to a friend the other day that everything that I speak about is about mental health. But today's topic of today is time. Woohoo, infamous time. It's the oldest and easiest excuse in the book. I don't have time. We use it for a number of things to haphazardly and automatically we use it as if on auto reply. I don't have time. That we forget we are the ones in control of our time in the first place. Not so. We talk about time as if it's some assignment beyond our control. Sure, there are some pretty non-negotiable responsibilities and duties like work, caring for children, etc., that make the I don't have time excuse seem pretty sound. However, the longer we blindly believe the distribution of our time is totally beyond our control, the lazier we are. Oops, did I just say that? Because, like it or not, your time is your choice. And acting like it's just a way to make ourselves feel better, for distributing it the way we do. I don't have time for this because of my children. I don't have time for this because of our work. For those that don't know me, hi, I'm Karin Kelly, a transformation coach and author. For the past 19 plus years, I've assisted women and men to unlocking their full potential. And together we shift, change and grow, transforming the essence of self, discarding or upgrading past programming that have limited you and held you back. I get it. Let's go to the topic. I get it. We're busy, very busy. How are we supposed to make time for ourselves when there are dishes to be washed, humans to be fed, calls to be made, and to sleep, for goodness sake? I think of Lynne, or the lectures she needs to prepare for, the studies that she's doing. Hey, Lynne?
Yes, Karin, everything you said is so apt. It is time. And we make so many excuses. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. And, there are so many sayings out there, time waits for no man. Time is precious. Time heals. And we can go on with the list. And, I've been thinking about, in preparation for this session, in conversation with you, I've been thinking about time. Time has been the constant through time, through the years, through the centuries. It hasn't changed.
No.
The world has changed. We have changed. So we take on and we say yes to everything. And we overfill our baskets. And then we burn out or we get tired and we say, oh, I don't have time. When you don't have time, your basket is too full. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself when it comes to your time. And rightfully so, you said in the beginning, we are in control of our time. No one else, not our husband, not our wives, not our girlfriends, boyfriends, children. Oh no, we are in control. So are we prioritizing the things that we have to do? Because, I think many people, and I can speak from experience, everything is important. So we don't prioritize, we put everything on one line. Everything is important, across the board. And that's when we land in trouble. So I believe that prioritizing activities and tasks, planning, organizing your life plays a huge role.
What do we really mean? What do we really mean when we say, I don't have time? I want to mention a couple of things. It means I haven't made time. I don't know how to make time. I don't want to make time. I don't have time to do that, and it keeps other and keep all my other commitments. In other words, when somebody asks you about something, your child asks you to do something. I don't have time to do that. Yet you keep all your other commitments. I'm not willing to sacrifice any of my current priorities in order to make room for this one. Plain and simple. The way we spend our time is a reflection on our priorities. Now take that in. The way we spend our time is a reflection of our priorities. If something is important to you, like your self-love actually, and your well-being, you will find a way, or it will find a way to fit into your schedule. I at times find myself feeling like I don't have enough time with my current schedule and deadlines. So yeah, I get it. However, remember that self-care, self-love is also part of your time for yourself. I think Lynne has a saying, or used to have a saying, from me to me, or something like that. When I used to ask her, on the weekends, what you do? Yeah, I'm doing it from me to me. Helen.
Yes, and I learned that, Karin, and I can speak from experience about this whole time thing. I was a beginner teacher, and I actually experienced physical burnout, where my body said enough, and I collapsed, and I couldn't walk, and I was off for 2 weeks. And because, as a young teacher, you want to save the world, you want to do everything. I wrote the school play, I produced it, directed it, did the costumes, did the backdrop, did the everything in 6 weeks, plus taught. And eventually my body said enough. And since that day, I do not ever want to go back to that feeling. I had to put systems in place. And every 4 weeks, I had I have still today. I've changed it a little bit to once a week because of my current, commitments I have. But when I was teaching, there again, you have to be flexible. My priorities change, so I had to be flexible and change my strategies. So when I was teaching, I actually once a month, every 4 weeks, had a Lynne week. I work till 4 o'clock, and I'm not available after 4. I used to give excuses, explain why I'm not available. And I realized I don't have to explain anything to anybody. I felt as guilty as hell because I started saying, I'm not available to people. I'm just not available. And after time, because I was looking after Lynne, after time, I realized it got easier to say, I'm not available. In fact, Now, because of my schedule has changed, my commitments have changed. I'm lecturing. I'm also leading a research project. Plus, I'm doing my doctoral studies. So my landscape has changed. So now I have once a week where I need to spend time with my husband, my family. So once a week, I do not open my laptop. And in fact, Karin, I'm so sorry. On Friday, Karin said, "Oh, let's do the session." I said, "Sorry, Karin, not opening my laptop." And it's something you have to do for yourself. I prioritize. I plan every day. So I would, in fact, I've planned today, Sunday, email, diary, study, and I have my X amount of hours. I'm going to show you this. And then I record my times of how much time I spent on studying and other things. Other things being the project, and I'm writing an academic article at the moment, so that's become priority. So in this week, when it was my university day, my lecturing day, I swapped it around with my study day. So I'm flexible, but I have a plan. And I think that is crucial when it comes to time. You have to have a plan.
It can be challenging, to say the least. And it requires sacrifice of some sort. However, Lynne and I are going to share some techniques regarding making more time for yourself. Time to read, time to walk, to run, to paint, to take a bath, to work out, play the piano, to have a glass of wine, alone on the porch. Whatever you want to do with the extra time is up to you. But remember, it's always a choice. And you're always choosing. Don't think Lynne and I we don't fall into the quandary of doing things and running out of time, and we get stressed and realize where our minds are, what we're actually doing. We may be forecasting too far ahead of our time. And every so now and again, we have to sit down, take a breath, and say, where are we at right now? So, first technique, wake up earlier. Me waking up earlier, I am known as a sleepyhead. I'll sleep as late as what I can, but wake up earlier. This is the number one on the list because it's just the most obvious way to gift yourself more time in the day. Even if that's just sitting the alarm 15 minutes earlier or snoozing it one less time, I'm guilty of that. Those 15 minutes of calm before the storm can be crucial in determining how the rest of your day goes. Will you be tired? Most likely. But one thing I've learned is that I'm tired when my alarm goes off at 6 or 7 or 8. And I'm tired when it goes off at 9 on weekends. You're going to be tired either way when you first wake up. It's going to be challenging perhaps, but sacrifice an hour or 15 minutes of sleep is a small price to pay for the things you could get done. Positively, you could produce as a result, like meditation in those 15 minutes, stretching exercises. You can give a technique. Lynne?
Yes. Take your yoga mat out in the mornings. As soon as you get out of bed, take your yoga mat out, put it on the floor and do some stretches and some YouTube music playing in the background, like relaxing music, and do stretching. Stretching is a fantastic way of waking up. Really is.
Is that before or after coffee?
Before coffee, definitely. The first thing you do when you get out of bed is get that mat out and stretch. It's a wake up of note and you feel so good. You really do. And then you go brush your teeth and do your thing and go get your coffee. But before you get your coffee, go for at least 3 times a week, at least either a cycle, doesn't have to be long, or a walk, but some form of physical activity. Max half an hour, doesn't have to be long, but you've got to make that time for you. It's amazing. It's amazingly effective. I make excuses, Karin. I make excuses some mornings. I mean, I try and do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then I go, oh, the wind is blowing a bit too much today. Or, oh, no. And I say to myself, stop that talk. You have agreed to do this. So stop that talk. Stop making excuses. I say to myself, let's get our tackies on and let's get out there. You feel so much better. You do. And then I come, this is what I do. I come home and then I plan my day over breakfast. While I have my ginger tea and my vegan rusk, I will plan my day. And I feel so much better. I'm a happier person when I've planned my day. I have a house to clean. I have a husband to look after, a mother to look after. I've got to make sure I've got to cook and all of that. But I plan my day. I feel I'm a lot happier when I plan my day.
Yeah, you gave me that technique. So, plan ahead. So even if you pack a bag, bring your lunch, do something today that you need to do over the weekend to free up yourself over the weekend. Do something today that you can free yourself up over the weekend. Planning ahead is an easy way to maximize the use of your time. And I was going through, I actually spoke to Lynne one day on the phone, and I told her, I was telling her that wasn't stressed out. I can't remember. I said, I've got too much information in my head, I said to her. And I started naming all the things that I need to do, but it was all in my head. And she's the one that she said to me, write down a schedule. And she told me what to do in the schedule. And I took out of what she advised me to do that was true for me. Because it's only a suggestion that we're actually giving you. And you need to see how it fits with your truth. And I remember she said I had to put times on everything. I went, how the devil am I going to do that? Anyway, I wrote my list. My list came out to be 20 things. And it wasn't a thing I planned do number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1 consisted of A, B, C, D, E, F. It was phenomenal. I thought myself, no wonder I suddenly felt claustrophobic. So thanks for that, Lynne.
And, yes, if we visually, sorry, Karin, if we visualize your time, and that's what you did.
Yeah. Another one is ask for help. This really should be actually number 1. Because so often this frees up more of our time than we ever could have imagined. Asking for help is not only perhaps challenging for us, but we also undervalue the return on this investment. Commit to less. I asked Lynne during the week, how about was it on Friday that I asked you? Can't remember. How about let's doing the talk? I can't remember if it was during the week or on that Friday. And she was straight. And she said to me, today's my day off. If I open my laptop now, it's tickets. Today's my day off. And she actually drew the boundary line. So commit to less. This actually is a non-brainer as well. We don't think it at the time while going through it. Many times making more time for you just means saying no to things you're not used to saying, that you're used to saying yes to, and potentially decommitting to current obligations. It is, again, another matter about prioritizing, as Lynne was saying. If it's truly important to you to find time to begin exercise or yoga or meditation or stretching, then you might have to say no, like Lynne did on Friday. Or say no to a Saturday brunch plan with friends and actually focusing on you and your self-care and your self-well-being. So yeah. And you, another idea, Lynne?
Well, it's a tough one, Karen. I think my next that really comes to me is be kind to yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, that slots in with what your well-being. And when I coach or mentor, better said, mentor young people, because I'm very crazy about young people and growing people, is that I say to them, so especially young teachers, what have you done for you this week? And that's my challenge to the viewers out there. Let us know, what have you done for you in the next week? You must do something for you. So for me, I'm going to have to answer the question, what has Lynne done for Lynne this week? And that's the question I would like the viewers to answer at the end of this week. What have you, Lynne, Johnny, Mary, Sue, done for Sue, John, Mary, Lynne this week? And answer that to you. Ask that question at the end of every week to yourself. What have you done this week?
That's a nice challenge. Actually, that's a nice challenge. I must actually give that to my clients. Another one is stop negotiating. What do I mean by that? We could save ourselves several dozen moments or minutes in a day if we just eliminate the internal negotiations we have with ourselves about where to eat, whether or not we feel like working out, or if we want to go to that dinner engagement or not. Quit negotiating. You're either in or you're not. Once you decide to do something, like really decide, you will see how much easier it is to actually have time to do it. Sometimes simply inserting a bit of rigidity, I think it is the word, into your schedule and saying, this is what I'm doing today. I think Lynne has that. This is what I'm doing today. Can increase your productivity and perhaps your perception of how well you spend your time. This can, of course, backfire if you're not willing to be flexible. I think you have to be flexible this week or last week, we were just mentioning, to potential kinks in your plan. But some level of non-negotiation is vital, is necessary in order to find time for the things you want to find time for. There are many more techniques. What we have, besides what we have mentioned, but we are running out of time. So Lynne, is there anything you would like to say to our viewers before we end?
Yes, Karen, if I might just go back to what excuse the pun that you just used, running out of time. And we are talking about time. I would like to leave the viewers with the challenge, the self-challenge. What's your plan? And what have you done for yourself this week? And don't forget, be flexible. Don't be hard on yourself, but have a plan. What is your plan? You're going to be far happier. I promise. When you know, at the end of the day, I look back and I say, wow, it was a good day. I accomplished a lot. And that's a feeling of satisfaction no one can take away from you.
And you know, me time can be anything. It can be playing the piano, could be reading a book. I love reading. And a lot of the times I like going into a fiction world to actually take my mind out of the academic and the learning world. It can be anything for yourself. Me to me. It is me to me, you used to say, hey?
Yes, from me to me.
From me to me, that's it.
Oh, by the way, you know where that came from? I used to go away for weekends, and it was me, myself, and a book.
Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I. Yes, and it was the book, and I used to take a book with and read a book a weekend. Yeah.
Suddenly, Bishop Tutu comes across my mind as you said, read a book. That book that you were reading.
It's and amazing. You and I met with him, and he signed the book. And I'll never forget. It's treasured. It's safely in my cupboard. But that's one of the books that I read over the weekend. Took myself to Montague in a B&B. I stayed there the weekend, and glorious. Just me and myself and I. Me, myself, and I. And Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond. At the time, Lynne wasn't married.
No,
Yes.
No.
So she has to do a bit of shifting. So, my viewers, are you ready or wanting to reach your full potential? Reach out to me. Is fear holding you back? Is time holding you back? Is suppressed emotions holding you back? Are you perhaps feeling stuck in your thoughts? Then you're in the right place, whereby I assist to unlock your full potential. So, who do you choose to be? Considering the topic we discussed today about time, who do you choose to be? Cluttered and all over the show, or grounded and focused? So who do you choose to be? Thank you, Lynne, for being on the Conversations with Karin.
Thanks, Karin. Thanks, viewers. It was great being here and chatting. Karin and I chat weekly, so it's been great to share and chat about this topic of time. Thank you for the opportunity.
Remember to hit the subscribe button at the bottom and the like button if you want to hear future talks. Be safe and be you. Thank you.